Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Please feel free to write to walkwithtak@gmail.com if you have any question regarding to this video or any other videos that I've posted in the past. If you have any videos that you would like me to make, please let me know. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. I created this video for two purposes. The first intention is to cook a chicken cashew dish with some snow peas that were given to me by our neighbor. It was really wonderful snow peas. And the second reason is that I have received a number of questions regarding how to use an induction burner. Particularly, how do you use an induction burner for the purpose of spot seasoning the wok, as well as to cook chicken without having it burn and stick to the surface of the wok. I have this induction burner for about 10 years. Most of the time, I use it mainly for making hot pot, but recently I've been using it for stir frying, particularly in cooking classes. Induction burner is very convenient. In fact, I start to really like it. I'm thinking about when I replace my current stove, I probably will get an induction stove. But right now, this induction burner works very well. I use it with my Cuisinart 14-inch stainless steel wok. Recently, a viewer wrote to me and he asked me what is the best way to season the wok using an induction burner. Now, it turned out to be the induction burner actually is excellent for this purpose because you can control it precisely. So here I'm going to demonstrate how to season a wok on an induction burner using my spot seasoning method. So the first thing I do is that after I put the wok on the burner, I set the temperature all the way to high because this way you can heat up the oil as quickly as possible. And at this point, it really doesn't matter because the speed is probably more important. Now, as the oil heat up, it will start to smoke. And I want to make sure that I'm going to let the oil to smoke gently. And this is one great thing about an induction burner because you can precisely control the temperature. As soon as I start to see there is a faint hint of smoke coming out, I actually turn the induction burner all the way up to about 10%. And in some cases, you probably could turn it off completely. Then I will let the oil smoke gently for about 15 seconds. Then I will add the egg to the wok. Now, frying an egg is a wonderful way to demonstrate that your wok is well seasoned. Because egg is really tricky to cook on any type of natural cook surface that do not have non-stick coating. For example, if you cook an egg in a stainless steel skillet or a stainless steel wok, and if it's not well seasoned, the egg will stick terribly. And if the wok is well seasoned, the egg will not stick to the surface of the wok at all. This is an excellent way to work out the conditions how you're going to season a wok, in this case on the induction burner. As you can see here, the egg do not stick to the surface of the wok at all. It moves freely. So this is the condition that you now keep in your mind, that how you're going to season the wok. Instead of frying an egg, you just use the same conditions to prepare your wok, to have it seasoned before you start your cooking sessions. So now you will use this procedure in the beginning of each of your cooking sessions. Recently, another viewer wrote me from Germany, and he told me that he has an induction burner and he has a stainless steel wok, and he finds that when he stir-fry chicken, quite often the chicken will get burned and stuck to the bottom of the wok. And he said he tried it several times, it didn't work very well. So I decided I'm going to give it a try and demonstrate it to him how it works. So here I have some chicken which I first coated with cornstarch. Now, coating the cornstarch is very important because one of the reasons that quite often when chicken stick to the bottom of the wok and get burned is because of the moisture associated with the chicken. Now, it depends on how you prep your chicken, particularly if you thaw the chicken out from the freezer after you do the advanced prepping. Depend on the type of chicken that you have. Sometimes it will contain a lot of moisture. So it is important to dry your chicken as much as possible to remove the moisture. And another way that will help to dry the chicken even more is to coat it with a light layer of cornstarch. Now, the cornstarch has two purposes. One is that it will absorb the moisture from the chicken. Another purpose is that the cornstarch actually will protect the chicken from the heat, and it will actually keep the chicken more moist and tender. Now, so at this point, you can do a couple of things. One is that you can let the chicken to fry a little bit more, and because the cornstarch, it will create a light breading on the surface of the chicken. Another way is that you can just simply stir fry it, and as I've shown here. Now, I use a pair of long handled tongs, which make it easier for me to move the chicken around. As you can see here, there are very little sticking on the surface of the wok, except some area you have some small amount of sticking. Now, the chicken is about almost, I would say, 50 to 60% done. Now, next, I'm going to add some snow peas. Now, the snow pea does not need to cook very much because you can eat them raw. And all you need to do is that to soften the texture a little bit so you can let the flavor from the chicken blend with the snow peas. And that will make the dish more interesting. As you can see here is that whatever that might have stick to the surface of the stainless steel wok can be easily removed with my stainless steel wok spatula. I can scrape them off, and you can see this actually demonstrate the wok is well seasoned because we have almost nothing stick on the surface of the wok. Now, some sticking is sometimes quite possible and also impossible to avoid. So this method using a stainless steel wok spatula will really help you to loosen up whatever that might have stick. So at this point, I have turned the heat to about 50% on my induction burner. The next step is that I'm going to add some Shaoxing wine. As you notice that once I add the Shaoxing wine, it actually bubble off almost right away. And then I use the wok spatula to scrape off whatever that might attach to the surface of the wok. And this is a method I call spot cleaning because the Shaoxing wine will behave like any fluid. It will actually dissolve and remove whatever that might stick and return the flavor back to the dish. Then I season it with a touch of oyster sauce, followed by some hoisin sauce. Just a very basic strategy and also very convenient way for me to season the dish to give the dish a nice umami flavor. You can add as much or as little that you want. I tend to add only a small amount because I want the dish retain the natural flavor of the chicken as well as the snow peas. Both of them has great flavor. And the sauces really to enhance their natural flavor. Okay, now the dish is done. As you can see, cooking this dish takes very little time, extremely efficient. In fact, you can have this dish on the table in about 5 minutes. Now, as I demonstrate here, is that when you cook a dish like this, the most important consideration is that the timing of when you add certain type of ingredients. Now, of course, you do not want to overcook the chicken, but you also want to cook the snow peas to the texture that you want. Again, like almost all vegetables, it's much better for it to be lightly cooked rather than to heavily cook. So this is a demonstration of my fast cooking system with the 4 attributes in flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and template-based cooking. You can manipulate different aspects of the stir frying process to create the type of flavor that you want. And of course, you can adjust the flavoring by varying the amount of oyster sauce and hoisin sauce. And of course, you can use other type of sauces. For example, if you like it to be spicy. So the last step is that I add some cashew nut. These are cashew nut that have been roasted, but they're not salted. So I will not add any salt flavor to the dish. Now I want to demonstrate to you what happened to the wok. As you can see in here, first of all, I rinse it off. Almost most of the sauces or whatever that might still remain on the surface of the wok can be rinsed off relatively easily. And then I use this wok brush. Now this wok brush works in such a way is that it actually you use the edge of the bamboo to scrape up whatever that might still on the surface of the wok. As you can see, it did a very effective job to remove whatever debris that might left. So in less than about 30 seconds, I pretty much had the wok well clean. Now the next step is that there are still maybe some stain on the surface of the wok, and this cannot be removed by the wok brush. So then I use a 3M Scotch-Brite scrubbing pad, and this scrubbing sponge works extremely well, and it will allow me to remove whatever the stain that still might be on the surface of the wok. And the end result, as you can see, in less than a minute, I'm able to get the wok completely clean. I like my wok clean, and so using this method, you can keep your wok always sparkling. Now, of course, they're going to be scratch marks, but that's quite all right with me. So in this video, I've demonstrated to you how to cook with an induction burner, and how to first season your wok on an induction burner, and then how to cook a stir-fry dish of a chicken and cashew with snow peas. The process is very simple, and I enjoy using the induction plate. So if you have any concern or any question about using induction plate, please let me know. So keep on cooking, and I will see you tomorrow.